Hey, what's going on, guys? The Langbanger here. So I have a new profile and I wanted to go over my updated Domain Monarch deck. So Duelist Advance, I think that's the name of it, brought us a lot of new support. I think we have all of the cards now in regards to what's out in Japan. I think that this deck did get a pretty big boost. It's definitely one of those decks to where if you set up and your opponent doesn't have the answers right away, you could just win, right? But then sometimes you could just break, or if they stop your play, bad stuff can happen. So I don't expect a whole lot with the stack, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be very fun. So I am going with Domain. I did want to use a version with an actual extra deck. So we'll kind of see on that. But yeah, I don't really know kind of just ratios and all that. I am monsters, spells, and two traps, I think. So it's still pretty heavy on the spells and the searching and the drawing, and I could also kind of go more heavy on the traps if I wanted to, but that's not what I'm going with here. So first off, you have 3 Eidos, and I'll pause there a second, but that could search out a spell or trap or a monster, a monarch, and then you could then bring this out or add it back to your hand when you tribute summon a monster, so that's very good. It's a level 6, so I was kind of thinking, you have Domain, right, and you could drop the levels, right, and then you got a 6, and, you kind of can't do anything with that. That's why, kind of in a way, if you wanted to use an extra deck, you would have to switch up how this deck functions. That way you could just utilize, the extra deck. I am on 3 Ether, I'm on 3 Erebus, and 1 Majesty Fiend. So that is where I'm at with the tributes. I don't use Karez anymore. You can use Vanity Fiend, but everyone knows that's one of those odd attack defense stats, so it doesn't really work with all your cards. I mean, the effect itself is amazing, but you're just thinking consistency. If you end up using vanities, that's fine. If you use more majesties, that's fine. I still, to this day, don't know why they made Majesty Fiend 2400 and 1000, and then Vanity is 2400 and I think 1200. So that it's kind of weird. But I have 2 Idea, I have 2 Eidos, and then I have 3 Tessera, the Primal Squire. So this is a new monster, and I'll pause there a second, but reveal a Monarch spell or trap, special summon this, and then I could do a tribute summon, and then when it's sent to the grave, you can special summon a 800 attack, 1000 defense from your deck, and then you can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So, if you do end up getting stopped, this could just let you extend the plays. I did want to use Rhoda, but I don't know how needed that is, just because this deck does have a lot of searching now. Probably isn't needed, so I'll probably just stick with that. But those are the monsters. Spells, you have 3 Stormforth, you have 3 Revolt. This is a new spell. Discard a card, reveal 3 monsters from your deck with the Monarch stats or the Squires, and then they choose one to add to your hand, and then send the rest to the grave. Okay, and then you could also banish this card from the grave, special summon a monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense. So you can kind of see where the Squires are coming in, to where we used to be able to just use 3 of the light, and I think 2 of the dark, I think was my old ratio, and then you would sometimes use Mithra, and that was a little like level 3 light, and now we have Tessera, and that's just a way better target, and you could do a whole lot more. So you have 3 Domain, you have 3 Tenacity, you have 3 Pantheism. Here's another new one, Monarch's Master Plan. So that sends a Monarch spell trap from the deck to the grave. So right off the bat, if you want, you could send Prime Monarch, you could send Pantheism, right? Whatever you need there. So that's pretty cool. And then when it's banished, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, add 1 monster with the same attribute. That's going to be a little hard to pull off. So you read that there, right? And you would have to use one of the original Monarchs. Don't really think that would happen. But, that effect is there if you guys, want to add those tributes to the deck. You have 1 Pot of Desires, you have 3 Return of the Monarchs, 1 March of the Monarchs, and 1 Called by the Grave. And then for traps, I have 2 Prime. So you can use Monarchs Erupt. I mean, you can go a little more trap heavy. You can use more March of the Monarchs. You can use Return of the Monarchs, which, yeah, I just have 1 there. So you definitely have some options, but, with these new cards, that kind of makes things a little hard. I guess you could cut down on the Squires a little bit. Maybe you would cut down on the Master Plan. I don't know how good that is. You would think, yeah, sending Prime Monarch or Pantheism, right? Those are good targets, but just for how much that you're searching, I'm not saying that's like 100% lock of a card. I also wanted to use Spell Card Soul Exchange. The way I was reading it, it made it seem like you can use monsters on your field and your opponents, so that should be able to get out a 2 tribute. So, but again, just space and, I don't know. But that is what I'm currently looking at. And mind you, I didn't do any testing with this, just got the new cards in the mail. I don't think I forgot any, staples or anything, but if I did, let me know and, add them into this build if you guys want to use it. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day. Peace.